To make your own sauerkraut at home, you're going to need a head of cabbage. If this is your first time making sauerkraut, this is the perfect beginner's amount to start with. Wash your cabbage really well and then peel off those two outer leaves, but don't throw them away because we are going to be using at least one of them later. So just take these and set them aside. And now we have to remove the core, and the easiest way to do that is to first cut the cabbage in half and then into quarters. That way you can very easily make this wedge cut and remove that entire piece of the core. Now that our cabbage is cleaned and cored, it's time to cut it up and add salt to it. So any type of pickling, kosher, or sea salt will work for this. Just don't use iodized table salt. That's not very good for fermentation. In order to figure out how much salt we'll need, we have to weigh our cabbage. This one here came to a total of 1,442 grams. 2% of that number is how much salt we'll be needing. So if we take 1,442 and multiply it by 0.02, we get about 28 grams. That comes to about 4 or 5 teaspoons or 1.5 tablespoons. So if you don't have a scale but you think you have about the same amount of cabbage as I do, you should be good with 1.5 tablespoons of salt. So now you can go ahead and start cutting your cabbage, and the most common way for sauerkraut is a julienne cut. So you can go a little thicker or thinner than this. It does shrink during fermentation, so that's something good to know. Now I'm going to put half of my cabbage into this big bowl, and the other half I'm going to leave on the board. Adding in the salt in 2 layers is going to help evenly distribute it. So over half of the cabbage, I'm going to sprinkle half of the salt, then the other half of the cabbage, and then the remaining salt. And now with super clean hands, or you can even use some gloves, dive in and massage that salt into the cabbage. Just think of kneading dough here. It's kind of the same movement. And after about 3 to 5 minutes of doing this, you're going to notice the cabbage will become very wilted, and pretty soon you'll be able to squeeze liquid out of it. That's the salt doing its thing, and we need lots of that liquid for the cabbage to sit in while it ferments. The younger the cabbage, the more liquid it'll have, so this part might go really fast for you. If you're using an older cabbage, then that means it's going to be drier, so this part can take up to 20 minutes or even longer. And sometimes you even have to add a little salt water if your cabbage is really dry. But I'm pretty happy with how much liquid came out of this today. Now we're ready to put it in a jar. And it doesn't even have to be a special jar either. Even an old pickle jar will work for this. You do want to make sure your jar is a little bit larger than the amount of cabbage you have in it, because this does expand a little bit. And you only want to use a very clean jar that's been thoroughly rinsed of every trace of soap residue too, because even the slightest amount of soap left behind from poor rinsing would stop fermentation. So that's something good to know. Now, once your cabbage is in your jar, just press down on it nice and firmly like this until it's submerged in its own liquid. Now you can take one or both of those leaves that you saved earlier and press it onto the surface of the cabbage to act as sort of a weight to keep it down. Some people like to add additional weight here, like a bag of water or something else, but I don't bother with that. So now our work is officially done. Time and nature is going to handle everything else. So put a lid on your jar and put this away in a warm, dark place for 1 to 2 weeks. This here is 1 week later, and I want to show you what it looks like. Here you can see the cabbage leaf on top has kind of dried out and gone brown. I'm just going to get rid of that. Now what you shouldn't be seeing in your sauerkraut is traces of orange or pink. That means it's gone bad. But this one here looks very healthy. You can see that the green color has left the cabbage. That's perfectly normal, and it did expand a little bit in the jar, but not that much. The only way to know if your sauerkraut is sour enough for you is to just taste it. In my experience, 1 week of fermentation makes it sour, 2 weeks makes it very sour. And I think I'm pretty happy with this level of sour after 1 week, so my sauerkraut is officially done. Now it's time to put it in the fridge, and you could leave it in this large jar when you do that, but I prefer to break it down into smaller jars. This is just for better convenience for space in the fridge, and I think the sauerkraut keeps better this way. Get every last bit of that probiotic brine in there, and now it can go in the fridge, where it will continue to ferment slowly over time, but overall your sauerkraut will be good for several months. I like mine as a side dish or a snack, drizzled with olive oil and sprinkled with paprika. It's so good this way, and you simply have to try it. So now that you saw how easy it is to make your own sauerkraut at home, I hope you'll give it a try soon, and hopefully it'll help you save a few bucks at the grocery store.